What's up, everybody? This week on Thursdays with Rob and Paul, we get a special performance from Rhett Miller from the old 97s. Rob and I talk about the greatest horror movies of all time. I reveal a shocking truth that I am now working for Donald Trump's new social media platform, The Truth. Find out all about Rob Hubel's lawsuit with Marvel and the stealing of a GIF. And also on the show, how to dress like Rob and Paul for Halloween. That's right. Embody our famous characters. All this and more on a brand new Thursdays with Rob and Paul. Watch it right now. Yeah.
I am in the market for a hot tub for real. I'm not joking. I think I
Really?
want to buy a hot tub for my home and put it in my backyard.
In the ground, or you want one above the ground?
I think above ground. Like, remember the one in Ojai, that
Yeah.
house we used
Yeah,
to
yeah,
rent,
like a nice-
sort of like
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Like a nice wooden, like an old school.
Yeah,
Hollywood.
that was like kind of an old cowboy, like a barrel hot tub or whatever. So yeah, maybe something like that. But until then, I wouldn't be opposed to you and I doing a hot tub stream, because all she did, obviously, that's like a baby pool.
Yeah.
The danger there, obviously, is if you have a hair dryer or something, electrical, she could kill herself accidentally.
Well, I mean, yeah, because that seems like it's not. Can I show you this? You just, talk about that hot tub. This movie to me was such a big thing for me when I was a kid, because I thought, like, it seems so dirty.
Hot tub time machine?
No, not hot tub. This, I'll show you. This is it was essentially it was this movie called Hollywood Hot Tubs. I've never seen it, but this is it. And it's
I remember the box. I remember seeing the cover of that.
Yeah, that's all
like
I
at the video rental store. Yeah, that was what that's like a early like Cinemax type movie where
it looks so crazy. There's a guy doing there's a guy over here doing paperwork. There's a gorilla back here. It says, when your parents and your probation officer make you get a job, why not work where everyone plays? Hollywood Hot Tubs. Where getting into hot water has never been so much fun.
What does the gorilla do you think?
I need to almost see if there's a trailer for Hollywood Hot Tubs.
That someone in the comments brought up a good point. Like, I feel like every movie in the 80s did have a gorilla, like a guy, like a fake guy, like the Samsonite gorilla. The what?
Remember, like there's a moment where, like, in Trading Places, where they like put them with a guy in a. I mean, I don't know if it's supposed to be a guy in a gorilla suit or if it was a real gorilla. You could never tell back then. I did pull up the trailer for Hollywood Hot Tubs to see if it.
Oh yeah, let's watch it. Let's watch it.
Right, here we go. All right. I'm gonna just let me make sure I have the right sound on here. But I appreciate you, helping, I appreciate you trying to find me last week, but again, no worries. I'm safe.
It was touch and go for a little bit. I will tell you, and I don't know if you'll be offended by this or encouraged by this. There were so many people that wanted to, start a relationship with June right away. There were people that, I mean, there was a brief mourning period for the idea of Paul Scheer, but after that, it was like, how do I get in touch with June? I was going to put June's home phone number on the screen.
Please don't do that.
I decided against it. I did put your kids' home phone number, their cell phone numbers out there, because obviously your kids would need to be adopted and taken care of and stuff like that. There was a lot of people, a lot of interest in your kids, all good, responsible
I don't want to
people.
give I would say I appreciate all the help you did, but you don't have to give away my family.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to right now because you're back. But I want you to know that I kept everyone's contact info so that, God forbid, if it happens again, if you get abducted, we can get your family taken care of immediately. There'll be no delay. June will be in a brand new relationship. Let me look at some of the names of the guys that were that wanted to meet June. Brian, Ted, Tom, Tim, Taser. There's a lot of guys. There's a guy named Taser. But anyway, so a lot of people have been messaging me about June, which I don't, I'll say I
Please
don't
don't.
broker relationships anymore.
Yeah.
And as for your
All right,
kids,
guys, hold on. I just want to say something. Taser is not a great guy. A lot of people in the chat are saying, "Oh, Taser's a catch." Taser's not a catch. Okay. Yeah. Please.
yeah, he is. He actually is. He's a martial arts instructor.
He's not a
Uh,
good guy.
he is a martial arts instructor, and he is. Some of his views about white nationalism are a little,
Okay.
controversial, but all in all, he would take great care of June. I think they would
Okay.
have a lot of
I'm
laughs
not.
together.
First of all, June and I have a lot of laughs together. People saying, "Oh, June will move on so soon." Don't count on that, And I would say this, I know that he is a storied past Taser he's from American Gladiators, right? That's the same Taser.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I know he's got a lot of money saved up from that, but I do
yeah,
believe that it's just not about the body, it's about a lot of other things in there as well, just like a lot of
right. And
a lot of.
I haven't seen you in a while. Are you still in pretty good shape? Or are you still struggling with like COVID, the COVID-15?
Okay, well, you know
Mhm.
that I gave myself COVID to figure out how to cure myself so I could give, the rest of you.
I did not know that. I
Yeah,
didn't.
I injected
I
myself.
meant the pandemic 15. I didn't mean.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, I understood what you meant. But I did lose my sense of smell from that. So I cannot eat yeah, I'm actually more skinny than I've ever been. No,
Okay.
I,
But
yeah.
to double back for just a second. So you say that you and June have a lot of laughs. Do you think that honestly, I'm thinking about what's best for June. Would she be happier with Taser?
I mean, she'd have to move to Russia, right? Because Taser is doing Russian Gladiator now. I think that's I think it's a Putin
I
approved
don't
show.
know exactly who you're thinking about. I'll be honest.
Oh, okay. You don't know about Taser?
When I
All right.
saw the name Taser, he emailed me. I didn't
Okay.
know
I'll
that.
show you Taser. All right. I mean, because
I feel like you might be thinking of like laser instead of Taser.
yeah, you might be right. I mean,
I think
there might be
laser.
there. I mean, I thought there was a Taser. Maybe it was in the other one. From American. I'm gonna look at it.
I used to have a trainer named Taze,
Yeah.
but that's a different guy.
Let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna look right here. Taser Bendinsky is somebody who's putting in the chat. Is that his real name? Let's see.
Well,
No, there is.
regardless,
I don't want to show a picture of him. I don't want to.
yeah,
I
right.
don't want to. I don't want to give more,
Momentum to that.
Later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
So are you and June gonna stay together? That's my question. After the ordeal, do you guys feel like you are stronger, or do you want to take some? Does she need some time off, or what's the deal?
No, I mean, we're fine. I mean, I think we're fine. We haven't really talked. She said that she's like, "Hey, where were you?" I said, "I was kidnapped." And she's like, "Well, can you like make sure you get the kids lunch tomorrow morning?" I said, "Yeah, absolutely." And so and so she's been spending a lot of time in Malibu. She says the commute is rough. So she's been out in
And what about Twanch? May I ask about Twanch and Vanilla Ice? Like, would they be happier with a different dad in light of the ordeal? Do they feel safe? If their dad can get abducted at any time.
I mean, one of the things that I was really proud of was I never snitched. I never ever snitched, and that was and that was a thing that was very important to me to show.
What happens to snitches?
Snitches get stitches. By the way, if you want to see, this is the guy I'm pretty sure we're talking about here. I'm just gonna see if I can pull him up here. Gosh, it's so hard to navigate my mouse today. Okay, let's get this.
How are you on mouse pads?
I'm bullish on mouse pads. I think they're coming back.
Yeah.
Let me see if I get. Oh gosh, darn it! I've been having such. Okay, this is I believe the guy that.
Someone's in the comments. I have to rewatch this later. I came into this midway. All right, let's recap. If you're just joining us, last week Paul was abducted, and he's now telling me that he was held hostage by a cartel, and he's fine. That's it. That's all you need to know.
And
he's back, and he's fine.
Yeah, and my wife is being flirted with this man who he calls himself Taser, but he obviously has a thing for June, and
Okay. I did not know that's who that was. Yeah, he is attractive. He is attractive.
Very attractive guy. Very attractive guy. I will say this, Rob. We're focusing a lot on the past. We have an amazing show tonight. Like, amazing.
Well, we're a half hour into it. We haven't even talked about how great the show is going to be. The show's going to be huge. And I'm excited about it. I was just trying to tidy up. I didn't, take care of some loose ends.
Yes. I mean, you're getting a hot tub. I got kidnapped. My wife is with me legally. Even though she physically is not here. She's, again, I said, living in Malibu or commuting from Malibu. She said that it's
okay.
She has this whole theory about separate bedrooms, and she said, and she always says, like, well, if we have separate bedrooms, why can't we have separate houses? And I said, well, I guess it does make sense. So her house is now in Malibu, and I live a little bit more on the east side, about an hour and a half away. So we're just kind of feeling that out. Very
well.
Cool.
That's kind of. I think that's cool. That's very LA. I think that's and we'll see how that works out. And the kids are in Malibu or with you.
Kids are with me. Yeah, kids are with me. And there was a note left on one of them that said,
the cartel left a note on the child.
Yeah, that these are yours now.
Okay, so the cartel pinned a note to your child.
What I wanted to do though with you, if you want it, is, and with everybody in the chat, I saw this thing on Slash Film. I love Slash Film. It's a great movie gossip website run by a bunch of great film critics, and I just love it. They're doing a tournament of terrors where you can kind of find which is your favorite horror movie, and I'm going to show you what this is. It's like here it is. That's their tournament of terrors. I figured we could use this.
Great.
See what you like, what you don't like, and everyone in the chat can get in there as well. People are saying that you're doing a little bit of ASMR right there with your.
Is it too loud? Sorry, guys. I won't. Yeah.
All right, so here we go.
These are all
right. So what would you go here? Halloween versus Phantasm.
Is that the original? That's the original Halloween. The original
Michael Myers.
Yeah, the original Halloween. I'm a big fan of. Phantasm. I'm not. I vaguely remember what it is, but I'm not that familiar. But I
don't remember Phantasm. Like, I remember it was just a ball that
there's a ball that has these knives that shoot out of it, and that's kind of all I remember. But Halloween I love because it was shot in my neighborhood. It was shot here in Pasadena, a lot of it, and I have friends that live on the street where that hedge is, where there's like a big hedge where at one point Michael Myers is sticking out. And my friends are sort of annoyed because this time of year, it's just all people taking selfies in front of their bush.
That's the worst.
Yeah. But yeah, so I would take Halloween because I think it's a pretty classic. It's a little slow. I will say, like, I rewatched it recently. There's like a 10-minute driving sequence where Michael Myers in the mask is driving around like Pasadena, supposed to be Haddonfield. Yeah. And he's just driving for like 10 minutes. So it's a little slow, but classic. And I don't know that much about Phantasm other than I don't want to get stabbed with a ball.
I would say this. There's no, people aren't dressing up as the Phantasm characters, or I wouldn't say that's like a leading Hollywood, there's no reboots of Phantasm. I think the staying power of Halloween is pretty strong. John Carpenter is amazing. There's your Mike Myers mask, which, do you know the thing about that Mike Myers mask?
Oh yeah. Just went to space with William Shatner. Just went to space.
Yeah. It is William Shatner's face. That was a mold that they took, which is, I wish they should get him in these movies. I mean, he's still alive. While he's still alive, get him in there.
What did you think about, we'll talk later about that, but like Shatner going to space was pretty, that kind of blew my mind.
I don't get why anyone's going to space, honestly. Because all it is like a vomit comet, right? You're just going up, you're getting out into the atmosphere, and then you're coming right back down.
Well, it's rich people going to space. That's what it is. I mean, It's like, and it's also weird. I mean, look, I'm psyched that we have the technology to do that. But it's fucked up that the richest guy in the world is the gatekeeper to space, who's like, who can go to space next? I choose you, And then they suck his dick afterwards. They're like, oh, thank you so much. You know, like that's a lot, but
I don't know. I like, to me, I think it all like this like consumer space travel is just dumb as shit. Like I just think it's like I don't get it. Maybe I'm just like I don't care to get it. I mean, because honestly, what are we gonna see? We're gonna finally understand the world is flat.
whoa,
Eh,
whoa, whoa,
what?
whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. Well, there's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah, sure.
So
What's up?
my takeaway from what you just said is that you believe the world is flat. Is that right?
Well, I mean, I don't believe it. I know it.
Okay. So you think that when they go up there and they look down at Earth, they just see like a flat marble?
Yeah, I think they probably just see like what it looks like when you look at a map.
Okay. Okay. Agree to
Yeah.
disagree. I
All
don't
right.
think we
Well,
have the time. We don't have the time to
okay.
get into
Again,
that.
talk to
Okay.
William Shatner about it. All right. So people in the chat, I think everyone in the chat is saying Halloween as well.
Halloween.
So right
Okay.
now, Halloween wins our first one.
Great. Okay.
We'll do one more or two more and let's see. Let's see about this one. This one is I think a tougher one. Would you go Child's Play versus Scream?
Okay.
Both kind of funny,
Yeah,
scary.
I've never even remotely gotten Child's Play. Like I don't get it. It doesn't seem scary to me at all. Like it's so ridiculous that when there's no point to even I feel like the people that showed up to make the movie must have had a hard time like even doing their jobs, like the guy that's plugging in the lights and who's the people that are putting on makeup. Like I would just be like, what are we doing? Like this is a doll. Like it's not scary at all just because the doll looks ridiculous. That said, the creepy, what is it, Annabelle, like that was a doll
Yeah.
also. I mean, same movie I guess, but
There
that's
was a lot of
somehow
like weird movies at this time. Well, first of all, I think Cabbage Patch Kids were a big deal at this time. So people were like, oh, what if like a
okay.
Cabbage Patch
Yeah.
Kid like was out to kill you? So I feel
Yeah.
like there's an element of that. But I really thought like the incongruity of like, because I think he's like a criminal who comes to like he comes to life and it's like Brad Dourif's voice. He's like, hey, you motherfucker, get over here. You know, like that, like it seems like a one joke kind of premise, but then they really lean into the comedy of it. And then he's getting married to Jennifer Tilly. Then Aubrey
Yeah.
Plaza's in the new one. I think that, I mean, as a kid, I liked it because it was scary enough for me to watch, but not be
Yeah.
scared of. So I felt like I was into horror movies. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
That's sort of the real estate that it occupies. Like it's enough of a horror movie to be like, I'm watching a horror movie, but you're not really scared. Scream, I think, is like a good movie. I think I haven't watched
Wes
Scream in a while,
Craven.
but Scream is like really scary and super funny at points, and also like a good like thriller movie, you know?
Wins on comedy, wins on scares. Now,
Yeah.
a lot of people in the chat are saying, are you picking Scream over Child's Play because of your connection to one of the stars of Scream who was in the Descendants, Matthew Lillard?
Mm.
Do you feel like you have an allegiance to pick that? Like, I want to, call you
I
on.
didn't think about that. I didn't think about that. I do like Matthew Lillard. He's a sweet guy,
Yeah.
but I didn't think about that when I said that.
Okay.
Still,
Got it. All
I
right.
think
So this is,
pound for pound, I think not pound for pound. Why don't you can't just throw out expressions, Rob? But I think that any sane person would pick Scream over Child's Play. That seems like a
I feel like that's what we're seeing in the chat too.
yeah.
By the way, Rob, have you seen, this is not in our thing, but I want to tell you about this movie. Have you seen this movie Raw?
Is it the
It's a French film.
no. I can tell you I have not seen it. I'm not gonna watch
It
a French film.
is really, it messed me up. Raw messed me up. I don't want to tell you anything about it if you happen to watch it.
Okay.
But it really messed with my mind.
Okay.
And I'm still thinking about the images I saw. But that director just came up with a movie called Titan, which everyone is saying, like, they're like, oh, Raw is base level easy.
Yeah.
And Titan is gonna really mess with you. Like people are I mean, I think the director, we talked about this a little bit on Unspooled a little bit too. Like the director is like not trying to make movies to make you pass out in the theater. I think there's a bigger theme at play in both of them, but it's some stuff that I've never seen before in films.
Wow. Have you ever seen Mandy with Nick Cage?
Yeah.
That that's a good one. That's like a fucking violent acid trip movie, but it's like so super cool, yeah, amazing.
All right. This first round here.
I like that we're just naming movies that are good that are also
we're getting into the Halloween spirit. I'll say this one is another good one.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
All right, we'll do this one, then we can go to Alien versus Final
Let me do a little ASMR real quick. All right. These are the little tiny ice cubes that I got, guys. These are the little pellet cubes. It's no big deal. I can afford it. You can get it at Best Buy. It's a freezer that just makes these tiny ice pellets. I'm not sponsored by them, but I would like to be.
By ice pellets. This one I think is easy. Everyone just think don't even talk about it. Alien versus
that's Alien's amazing. The premise of Final Destination is like that pitch is like a good pitch, but I don't know how they made so many. Didn't they make like 5 of those or something?
Oh yeah, they made a bunch. And basically is like if death comes for you, you can't escape death.
You can't escape it.
I mean, they're fun, but they're dumb. Like if you put that against Child's Play, that would be more of a fun discussion. I think you can't just put these great ones here. This is the end of the first bracket, so we're getting some answers here.
Okay, great. Now I have a very important question for you about Halloween. Oh wow, are we still going with that? Oh wow,
this is the end of this first bracket. We'll come back to it later.
Oh, okay,
go down.
Gotcha.
Evil Dead versus Frankenstein. I mean, like, so let's say all the old school Universal movie monsters, Dracula, werewolf, everything, versus Evil Dead. I mean, to me, I've seen those old school movies. I appreciate them for what they are.
Right.
But Evil Dead is amazing.
Yeah, Evil Dead is a fun ride. And I feel like, those old movies are cool. You can definitely, like you said, appreciate what they're doing and the fact that they were really, I guess, creating like a genre, or I'm sure that it had been.
I get people are saying right now, well, without old school movies, there would be no Evil Dead. But
sure, but who cares? It doesn't matter. Like, yeah.
Who cares? I mean, what are we going to be watching? I mean, like, I mean, pound for pound. I will
pound for pound. I let pound for pound slip out. And it wasn't even a comparison that I don't know why I said pound for pound, but now that's going to be my thing, I guess.
I saw Evil Dead
pound for pound.
Pound for pound. I saw they did an Evil Dead stage musical. And it was so bloody and so crazy. Like, it was one of the craziest things I've ever seen. Cause it's like they're running chainsaws on people in the audience.
That would be fun. Well, I think that sort of thing, like a horror show, one of my favorite things, and we've talked about this briefly on here before, like maybe even last year, but we used to do that show a million years ago at UCB called Kilgore. And Kilgore was, for people that weren't in New York, it was like a horror, musical that we did on stage. It was not improvised. It was scripted, but it was basically the blood, cartoonishly bloody. Like the stage was like, started out, the stage was like draped in white sheets, and you just knew when you came into the theater that it was just going to be covered in fake blood.
We literally put tarps throughout the entire theater, front stage and backstage, to cover every possible surface. And we had to do it 3 times because we do the show like 3 times in one night. And after one show, we would take off one layer of tarps and there'd be another. And it was just like, you were covered basically in red chocolate sauce all night long. It was so brutal. It was so fun.
But that kind of thing, I think, is, I feel like there should be more of that. Like, are you going to go to any of the mazes this year? Like, are you going to go to Universal or to the Hayride or anything?
I've honestly been on the fence about it. This year I went to the Oogie Boogie Bash, which is what
is that? What is that?
The Oogie Boogie Bash is a thing that Disney World does, or Disneyland does at night. You can go in and you can dress in costume and you can trick or treat.
Are you sponsored? Is this a sponsorship?
No, I can't get a Disney sponsorship. This show's too dirty. But we dressed up. We have 3 costumes for our family.
Say that you hate Disney.
can't do
Say
it.
it.
I can't do it, man. I can't do it.
Say I hate Disney.
I love Disney. I love the Oogie Boogie Bash. I love paying upwards of
Unbelievable.
$600.
This guy is suckling on the corporate teat, guys.
We went to the Oogie Boogie Bash, and I've been more nervous about going into like small enclosed spaces where people are jumping out at you in masks because I feel like everyone in those spaces are like, I know I'd be wearing a mask, but like I also
everyone's
felt like,
screaming, everyone's exhaling and expelling whatever is inside of them. But yeah, I want to go because it's my favorite thing.
Yeah.
It's like my favorite thing, but I don't know that I'll go this year. But I miss it a lot because like that was my thing with my wife. Like we used to like that was our courtship was going to like spooky Halloween things, before we got married. Like it was just so fun. So like once we got married, we're like, oh well, we should always do that. Like that'll be our little tradition is going to like Universal Studios or something. But yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna do it this year. But pound for pound,
I got pound for pound, stab for stab. You know what I also felt like, and I'll say like when I went to that Oogie Boogie Bash, this is by the way a picture of me at the Oogie Boogie Bash. We all had to dress in costume, and this is we picked The Incredibles. So there I was in my Incredibles costume.
Oh my gosh, my daughter loves The Incredibles right now.
We were the full family of The Incredibles, and there I am in the poster. But the crazy thing about it was you're smiling and you're having a good time, but you're walking around. That mask can get really cumbersome, especially if you are like I feel like yelling or screaming, or like I feel like you're already like whenever I leave those nights, I feel like my jaw hurts anyway because I'm like, oh, I'm smiling, I'm tense, and the mask does not do me any favors. I'm not advocating for not wearing a mask. I'm just saying that like I almost feel like I found it to be more of a hindrance than I've ever found a mask at that Oogie Boogie nights, only because I'm like, I don't know, they're not jumping out at you. But yeah, I think this year I'm going to take a rain check, although I am going to go to Delusion, which is that like
wow
of theater one, because I had a friend who went to it and they said it was actually really good. So I'm excited.
Was that the one that we went to? Man, now you're really reminding me about because we were on a tear for a few years before I got married, where we would go to all. Actually, that might have been when.
No, this is like recently when we went to that one.
Yeah.
You, me, and Stern and a whole bunch of other people went.
Yeah, that was fun. Walliner and stuff. Was that the one downtown where you had to like you go into different kind of like one you go in and there was like you're in a bedroom of like some teenage girls and then you're just sort of sitting there and then you see like there's a guy in the closet and the guy.
Yeah.
Was that the one? Yeah,
there was a couple of these. Like, we did a couple of them. We've been to a lot. You and I have been to a lot of these. Like there's like that one where they made you hide under the bed and then you watch the whole scene take place from underneath the bed as people were doing. That was not the one. This was the one. There was one where we went all separate. Like you go up and it's like this theater lobby, and then they kind of bring you, and then you start to like pair off with different characters, and you got brought around.
Oh, was that the hotel? It's like an old 1920s hotel. Yeah. Oh, that one was awesome. Yeah.
Like they're really fun, and like I went twice to that one and had a completely different experience.
Yeah.
Both.
It's a little bit like Sleep No More, right? Where you can just kind of like wander around, but they kind of give you a task, like they sort of take you aside, and
it's like I think that they only do like 10 people per cycle, and they have like 10 storylines. So you get one of those storylines each, like so everyone gets a storyline that they complete, but then there's like these moments where everyone meets up. But there are these bigger moments where I remember the first time I went, they gave me poison, and I had to put poison in this person's glass because she's like, don't trust me, that person's evil. And I put the poison in the glass, and then somebody else didn't put the poison in the glass, and then the show changes based on that. So like there's enough like flexibility.
I love that stuff so much. Now I know there's one you went to a lot because you found out that you could kiss the characters, and people were saying like Paul Scheer keeps coming here every night and he keeps kissing the characters.
But you're missing an important distinction. I could kiss the characters, and it was cool because it was like I was playing a character, so I wasn't actually married in that scenario.
Okay, but But those actors, they are actors, so they are. I think
they really wanted it.
Okay, but they are humans. They are people who have feelings and their own relationships, and they may
Yeah,
not want to kiss you in a play. I mean, it's a play. You're basically in a
yeah,
play.
there's a play. But I was kind of taking on a character too. So
Okay. In a
pound
movie
for
or a
pound,
TV show, pound for pound, in a movie or a TV show that you're filming,
yeah.
if you have a love scene, do you kiss with your mouth open when you go in for a kiss?
Okay, this is actually a very interesting topic, and for very real, like I got into a huge conversation about this with a handful of friends, a mixed group of people.
Mm.
And one of
What do
my
you mean a
friends
mixed group of people? What is a mixed group?
is a mixed group of people is sorry, people who are men, people who are women. I'm just saying,
Okay.
like, it wasn't like a bunch of dudes, it wasn't a bunch of
So
ladies.
pound for pound, not all men, not all women.
Yeah, exactly. People say mixed race people. Yeah, it was a real. It was everything. We had it. No, it was.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out a way to say it where I'm not like throwing anybody under the bus. So one of the people there, who's an actress, she said, "You
Meryl
always have."
Streep. Was it Meryl Streep?
It was. She said, "You have to, when you kiss on camera, you have to kiss using tongue." And we all were like, "Wait, what? What are you talking about? What are you talking about?" And
Was
she's like,
this
"No,
your
that's."
wife? This was June.
No, it was not. It was not. Definitely not
Okay.
June.
Okay.
And we were so like taken aback by that. And then we started to find out like different shows, or at least in this experience of this group of people, have made people like, "Hey, can you slip the tongue in?" And then other shows like, but I never knew that that was like
I've
not
never
want to
heard
do
that.
that.
Yeah.
And I've had to do my fair share of kissing scenes. It's
Yeah.
always very awkward. But
Show
like,
me how you kiss on camera. Like
well, first I got, because I have bad eyesight, so I have to like zoom. I have to get the face. So I do a lot of
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I'm like it's getting like
So you're a face toucher. Okay.
well, that's just so I get my. It's like a landing strip. Like I'm just trying
And
to like, get.
which side do you go to?
Oh, I mean, I go full center. I just go like,
Oh, you go straight on. Okay.
yeah, I'm like this. I'm like and I get in there and I look like and I do it like and then when they edit a lot of that out for
Yeah, I feel like I haven't
TV,
seen a
because
lot
it
of that.
takes
I
a
feel like
while. It takes a while. And oh my gosh,
yeah.
we're getting all of Amaranth's viewers. Yeah, I go in like that. And then it all kind of works
I've
out.
never heard of anyone saying on a TV show that they want to kiss with their mouth open. I don't hear that.
It's one of the most disgusting things you could possibly ever do. I mean, I
Yeah.
think in the sense that
Now, sex scenes,
yeah,
that's a different thing. Sex scenes, obviously, I think we're both on the same page. I will not fake sexual intercourse in a scene. I always tell the directors and the other actors, I will be entering you. And that's just what,
well, I don't like to actually do that kind of stuff. I have a butthole double. So if you ever see my butthole on screen, that is a double. That's not my actual butthole.
I've seen they show your butthole a lot on television. I always wondered about that. Like, why is Paul so willing to show his asshole? And now I
Well,
know
because I have a
so you
double.
have
Yeah,
a double.
and
Who,
that gentleman worked out. By the way,
who is that gentleman?
his name. Well, this is why it's uncomfortable for me. It's Taser.
Oh my gosh.
That's how he met June. All right.
Your butthole double is Taser. Oh
Yes. I'll tell you one other. If we're talking about doubles,
yeah.
So there was a show that I did one time where
Black Monday.
Hey, I'm not gonna get into it because I don't
The League.
want. I'm not gonna get into it. Where we needed to see somebody's, someone's peen. We needed to see that peen, and they got a dick double for the actor.
Yeah.
And so it was in a comedic scene, so it wasn't like a sexually presented peen, but it was really interesting because as we're all kind of running lines and just kind of making sure the scene is getting ready to go, that gentleman was just getting himself ready to go. So we're all kind of sitting around.
In what way? In what way? Like, how, is he like
manipulating? He was basically kneading the dough.
Okay.
Between his legs.
Now, was he
And
supposed to be erect or
no?
Okay.
And so
he was just kind of like gently
lengthening it, kind of
preening. Yeah. Okay.
Getting it out. And I will say that the thing that I found about that was it all sounded good in theory. And then when you get on set, it just becomes incredibly awkward because you're just using this guy's one part of his body for this bit. And then because you're shooting it in such a way where it's got to be you got to shoot it tight. So it's the what we're looking at. Then you're all just like in there. And I don't think anything should have like a beauty shot like that kind of like, it's like, it's just for everyone to see. And what made it interesting was this gentleman was uncircumcised. So it was tricky because you couldn't quite make heads or tails about what you were seeing.
That's a poor choice of words. That's a I don't like that choice of words, Paul. Pound for pound, I don't like that choice of words.
For pound.
Paul, your exception to male nudity is revealing. How do you think that women who are consistently asked to show themselves, how do you think that they feel? Like, I'm sorry, Paul, that you one time had to see a guy's dong, and I feel really bad for that guy.
Yeah.
But think
By the
about
way, no shaming of dick holes. People are saying I'm dick shaming. No, the guy had a beautiful penis. It was a beautiful penis.
Describe it. If it's so beautiful, describe it. If it's so beautiful,
you can see it on TV. No, it was a beautiful penis. It was, obviously it was a showcase penis. It's just it is an awkward experience. To be using your junk as a piece of comedy.
Yeah,
and then I think you envision it in one way, and then when you look at it and you're like, oh, actually it's not exactly how I envision it, because you're not seeing things like that in that moment. That's all I'm saying.
Well, no, but it's also weird when, like, because I feel like when they show a nude dude in a movie, it's usually supposed to be funny. And then when they show a nude woman, it's not funny. So there's also a different vibe on set. Like, we've shot stuff before, remember, in New Orleans, where they just cast a couple local actors who are willing to be topless or whatever. And then you kind of, like, I always felt a little bit like, you sort of feel bad. Like, I don't know if you felt bad for the guy who's showing his dick, but like, I feel like when a girl shows it and like, that's kind of just their whole thing, you sort of feel bad for it. I mean, they knew what the deal was, but I don't know what I'm trying to say.
I think you know what it is like, I think that there's always this moment where it seems good in theory, and then you're there, and then and it's like, yes, like the person that's doing it is cool, and everyone's being taken care of, and it's respectful, and it's nice, but it is also like you just start to use people's bodies as like a prop. It's like, and I think and it's different than if you're doing a scene where it's like a more intimate scene or a kissing scene, like, because that, like, there's a different intimacy there. This is like, I'm talking about like literally like for a gag moment. It's like like we are using your body for that thing, and it always is like a little it's a little bit, it's just like it's an awkward moment.
But so when you go to these live Halloween shows and you sort of these immersive theater experiences, it's not uncomfortable for you because you get swept up into your character, and so you're able to kind of I see.
Richard Cockburn.
What, are you reading the comments, or is that just
no? That's my character's name.
Oh, Richard. Okay, I like that.
I'm Richard Cockburn. I'm a doctor that through sense of touch is able to diagnose you. Dr. Richard. Yeah. That's my character.
Let me ask you a question real quick about Halloween.
Yes, all right. Dick Cockburn that's my friends call me Dick Cockburn.
Yeah.
Dr. Dick. Dr. Dick, Dr. Cockburn, Dr. Cockburn. There's also Dr. Dick CB, Cocky Cockburn is like my nickname. Yeah.
Let me ask you this about your Halloween costume this year, because we talked a couple weeks ago. Well, I'll show you in just a second. I wanted to show you a Halloween costume of me that is available for people to purchase this year.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know if you gotten to the level of fame that I have in your career where there is a costume that people can purchase of you. I don't know.
Yeah, like I see this a lot of the time. Yes, a lot of the times I see this, like, it's like if you want to recreate a look of like a famous, like, oh, I love that character from this TV show or film, like they kind of break it down, like, oh, hey, if you want to recreate this look, you can shop the look for a character, right? Oh yeah, I love it. You have one of those? Let me hear. I can pull it up.
Well, I mean, I actually, the costume that's out there for me is it's actually a character that I never even got to portray, but it is a beloved character from the Law and Order universe or SVU.
Oh my God.
I mentioned a couple weeks ago, that I was, I was offered a part on SVU where I was going to play this this date rapist who gets his penis cut off. This is all true.
Yeah.
And I didn't do the part, but the idea became very popular. So you can now go on the internet and you can shop the look, Rob Hubel and Law and Order. You get a hospital gown and you get several containers of dark blood for crotch blood. And so it's become very, very popular. And
that's actually a really easy one to get because you don't have to get special crotch blood. You just have to get dark blood, any kind of dark blood in a hospital gown. And that's great. And again, this is a character that you didn't play.
I didn't play the character, but it's one of the hot concepts this year for Halloween costumes. There's like Squid Game. Everyone's going to be Squid Game. Everyone's going to be, William Shatner coming back from space. These are all pop cultural things. And mine is now up there too, from my Law and Order potential.
Well, I mean, it's funny that you do that because obviously I also have a cavalcade of characters that people like to be. I actually made a little video of it if you want to see. I made a little. This is like
and everyone is looking for that next great costume. And I'll tell you, every year people are always asking me, Paul, how do I get the look of one of my favorite characters that you've done, which of course is Motel Clerk from the pilot episode of Reigns, the 2007 hour-long drama starring Jeff Goldblum. Well,
you remember that character?
Yeah, of course. One of my favorite characters.
Motel Clerk from Reigns, the pilot episode. Reigns only lasted a handful of episodes.
I'm going to tell you right now, it's not that hard, but it's not easy either. Let's take a look. First of all, you need to get that kind of sweat, that glistening sweat on your head. Now, that wasn't my real sweat. No. I used Vaseline and then I sprayed some water over it. And as far as the shirt, well, the shirt is going to be hard to find. I think that everyone will forgive you if you get a shirt that looks kind of like it, like this one.
I mean, I think that you're kind of cheaping out if you get kind of this one's.
And then next comes the props. You're going to need plenty of keys because I am a motel clerk and I got a lot of keys. Now I've seen a lot of people do.
So there it is. So this is this is like a really
you've done.
A lot of fun for the people out there to kind of recreate.
Let me ask you something because I think if pound for pound, if you're comparing the fun to be had with your character from the TV show Reigns, which was a canceled series that I'm not that familiar with the series. I will say Law and Order SVU is ongoing, and that universe is very.
You
popular.
were not in it though.
No, that is true. I was.
I was in mine. Yeah.
Right. But I guess we'll see. We'll see what the sales are. We'll see what the sales are. We'll see who dresses up.
I think when you see somebody like I what I don't like about it is I feel like. I would love people to do like the zombie version of the Motel Clerk or do like, or make it like Mo Willems, the guy who does Piggy and Gerald, like call it like the Mo Williams Clerk. And so you are dressed a little bit, it's like a mashup, it's like people do sometimes like Obi-Wan Kenobi, which is like Kobe Bryant and Obi-Wan Kenobi, or like,
are a lot of people doing Obi-Wan Kenobi?
I've seen a few.
You've seen a lot of those. You've seen that.
I have seen a few Obi-Wan Kenobis, but Doctor Hotel Clerk. So there's a lot of different ways you can do my motel clerk.
Sure, I understand. Okay, well, we'll just see. We'll see what people do. I want to go ahead and announce. I feel like next week we should have a Halloween costume contest on the
great
show.
idea, Rob. Yes. All right. So you should come. You should come to the
and you
show.
Certainly don't have to dress as either Rob or Paul. Like you could be anything.
Yeah. Submit on the server. You don't have to talk that much. We're just going to show your costume. Remember, and that would be so much fun. We did when I did.
Now let me ask you this. Sorry.
Our dogs invited.
Should it be live where we go and bring them on, or should they just send us pictures and we'll show? Pictures?
I wonder. I if we get enough people, I would love to do it live to see the.
I would like to do it live. I think it would be more fun and more interesting to meet the people.
And see what they're dressing up as, and look, maybe it's a special one. Like we have 3 costumes right now with our family. Like this could just be your Thursday costume,
Yeah.
If you can't make it, send us a picture. If you can make it, we'll do it. So we'll do a little mix and match. We'll do a little mix and match here because I want to see what people are dressing up as.
Now, can I address a little bit of a controversy? Speaking of beloved characters of me that people will dress up for Halloween, and again, no pressure to dress up like this at all, but there is a GIF of me out there on the internet.
Oh my gosh, Rob, we need to talk about this.
Am I pronouncing that correctly? Is it GIF or GIF? I don't know. I've been corrected before. But pound for pound, there is a GIF of me that a lot of people use from Children's Hospital, actually an episode that you directed. Yeah. And you can show people this GIF that I'm sure people have seen this before.
This is like a great GIF. And this is true. This is not
true.
A bit.
This is true.
This is the GIF of you here.
Yeah. Everyone has seen that around. Now,
right. Classic one. Great direction. Amazing acting. This
now. Someone in the chat says Olive Garden guy. No, that's a different character. My Olive Garden character is a different one. So that's my gift. That will probably be, my the pinnacle of my career. More people have probably seen that, and people don't even know that that's me. It's that big. I'm sorry, Paul, are you eating during the show?
I just took a little bite of pretzel. I'm so sorry. I realized I was eating too much.
Okay. Is this a because I'm a pound for pound, I'm allowed to eat ice and crunch ice, but if you're gonna eat a pretzel,
I was eating a Shappy pretzel and I apologize.
Okay, but you mentioned the brand name. So this is a sponsorship.
A friend of mine, Adam Shapiro's pretzels here that he sells out here in Los Angeles that pop up.
Okay.
All right. So
the GIF, there's a bit of a controversy now because the GIF has been co-opted by some Hollywood heavyweights, and people are starting to imitate it, which I guess should be flattering. But unfortunately, my lawyer, who is quite lawyerly and litigious, is really excited about a lawsuit. So let's show it. This is for the Guardians of the Galaxy video game. This popped up on Twitter yesterday. Clearly, I mean, I would say that the hair is slightly different.
Well, I mean that's the Chris Pratt character of the game. I mean, but that is a ripoff of exactly what you do. I mean,
that's me. And then did I send you the other one?
I got the other one. I'm going to show you the other one right now. I'm just loading it up. And so now, you saw that, and then you released this. Here we go. All right, you released this one. Here we go.
This is Valkyrie, who is a big, I think, YouTube personality. So, so she's got a big following, and so anyway, all of this is to say,
feeling your shit.
Yeah, here it is. Again, I'm flattered. I really am, but unfortunately, Hollywood is about the money. And so my lawyer says we have a great case. We're going to, yes, that's right. Someone in the chat said we're taking them to meme court. We are going to go to meme court.
Oh no!
And
Don't go to meme court.
We're going to go to meme court, Paul. And here's the thing. And I don't like to make news on the show. Normally I like the show to be fun and not controversial, but I think we're going to make some headlines here. I will drop my lawsuit against Marvel. Now, Valkyrie, if I'm pronouncing her name correctly, or correct, I'm still going to sue her. But
why?
I will drop my lawsuit against Marvel if I can be the star of my own Marvel movie.
Okay, well, you know what, Rob? I want to help you. I think that's a very fair thing to ask. People are ripping you off left and right. You need to get some compensation here. Why are we remaking something that's already perfection? We saw your great thing there, and I think that Marvel needs to pay and get you in a movie. And I'm behind this. I'm behind this. And people want to know, what kind of character would you like to be? What would you be your Marvel character?
Well, I think what I will do is Black Panther.
Oh, Jesus.
I think I will take over the role of Black Panther. I mean, obviously, Chadwick Boseman, I'm a huge fan and nothing but respect and admiration for him and for what he did for the character. But, obviously,
I think that would be offensive, Rob. I think that would be really, I don't think you should be.
I don't know. I haven't talked to anyone else about this. I'm just spitballing ideas here, but I feel like it's one of the best Marvel movies I've seen in a long time. And it's a character that I connected with. And I feel like once I put on the suit, I think people will get excited and get behind me. And yes, it's a white person playing a character that was famously not white, but I mean,
I would argue it's definitely, it's not. I don't think you should do it, Rob. I don't think you should be. I don't think you should be dying on this hill. I think you should find a different character. I'm going to tell you though, Rob, that I think, according to the internet, you might already be in the Marvel universe, because what I just did right here was I typed in your name into Google.
It's true. It's true. Minor
and there
character.
You are.
Minor character on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And I would argue that character on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was like a one-off, and it is not probably worthy of a new franchise movie. But
Lloyd Rathman.
Was that his name?
Lloyd Rathman.
But I do think that I'm ready to step into I feel strongly about the Black Panther thing.
Lloyd Rathman.
I wish people. I know people are. I know
management.
He's.
You're a director of wealth management for Keister, Dyer, and Rathman, and you are one of its senior partners. And this is a great character to start financing maybe Marvel characters. Maybe you're the lawyer for the Marvel world. I
don't want that. I don't want to be a business guy. I don't want to be an executive. I want to be like kicking ass. I want to do like karate. I want to, punch people in the dick, or, shoot them with a laser stick or whatever it is. And, I just wish people would get, obviously this is controversial. I know it's going to be controversial. I would also do, I'll be honest, I would do Wonder Woman too. I would take over Wonder Woman. I feel like
you should not do that. You should not do, like, I'm looking
why?
At your wiki is really big. I mean, how about your son, David Rathman, and you have an ex-wife without a name. Like David Rathman, is your son.
Why can't I be Wonder Woman? Why can't a man play Wonder Woman? There's my son right there.
Did you pose for that picture?
Yes, that was at for some reason, where was it? That was like on the Sony lot when we shot that part.
That's only like that. This picture. This kid is now in the wiki.
That kid's like now in the universe. Yeah, as Lloyd Rathman's son. Anyway, yes. I feel strongly about my own Marvel movie. I'm hoping there are a lot of people in the comments just saying I'd be a good Silver Surfer. I guess that's because I have gray hair. I just feel like Wonder Woman or Black Panther. I'm ready. I'm in pretty good shape. I've been working out. Oh, I also
got to be in really good. You got to be like.
Look at this. Yeah. Look at this thing I got. I got this. I I got this like weapon here that I was going to show you for that. I got a new, you know how people make fun of me because of the sex whip thing?
Yeah. That looks even worse.
So I bought a new weapon. And this is like a old school, like mace for clubbing people, but I was going to use it on Halloween. If any of the trick-or-treaters, you know, get out of line or get too rowdy or take more candy than they're supposed to, you know, I go, hey, yeah. But now that I am holding this, it is very easy to.
What is that, by the way?
It's a mace that that I got when I did the Shumway infomercial.
Oh, yeah.
Remember Shumway?
I remember Gordon Shumway.
Yeah. So I did an infomercial for Adult Swim, and the prop master Ryan gave me this mace. But I could use this I'm going to use it on Halloween. I could also use it in my new Marvel franchise. You know, maybe for Black Panther, maybe for Wonder Woman. I don't know what the opportunities are, but
people are saying that, you know, Lloyd Rathman is the perfect name for a superhero villain named Wrathman. You know, you bring up the Wrath Man, you know. So
that's a good idea. Like kind of like Willem Dafoe's character, who was like sort of, you know, who was the octopus guy in Spider-Man, who was
Doc Ock.
Yeah, but yeah. So maybe if Lloyd Rathman is like he you know, he was an executive, lawyer, but now he's a villain. Yeah. Okay.
He gets his own. He's the judge, jury, and
again, this is all to be clear. If there are, I know there's a lot of Marvel employees that watch the stream. This is to avoid the lawsuit. It's up to you.
Right.
I can either proceed with in meme court and take you down for copying my meme and ripping me off, or because I get paid, you know, Paul, you get paid I get a lot of residuals for my meme. I get a check every month.
You get a lot. I get it from directing it. It's great. It's the DGA pays me so much money for that.
So, hopefully this can be resolved with a mere bequest.
I hope it can. I hope it can. And you know what I'm going to tell you? I will help finance this battle with Marvel because I didn't even want to talk about this, but I actually got a very big commercial campaign.
Oh my gosh.
And I've been working with this brand new company, and it's
is it the pretzel? Is it the pretzel company?
No, that's a local thing. This is actually
Michelob Ultra. It must be Michelob Ultra.
No. This is actually something I've been very excited about.
Peloton, because you're always mentioning Peloton.
It's not Peloton or Mirror.
Chrysler Pacifica.
I love a Chrysler, but no, this is a company that I got pulled in to do some work for, and they're a brand new social media streaming company.
Cool.
It's really, I think it's like, I want you to hear me out with it.
I'm excited. It sounds great.
Yeah, it's a little bit like, you know, it's a little, you know, whatever it is, you'll see. It is actually created by the president, the former. Well, I mean, the president. You know, he's just because he's in the White House doesn't mean he's not the president. It's his new social media platform. And it's called The Truth. And this is all right. So this is a great. I got an inside look at what this is going to offer people. You're going to love it, Rob. First of all,
I don't know. I'll tell you, I'm not really. You know, go ahead. I mean, I want to hear what you have to say, but
no. Okay. Like, I mean, here's the thing. Okay. So first of all, it's all about, you can follow the truth. It's what's really happening. No fake news. You follow your friends. And it's a full streaming platform. It's got everything you could possibly want. I love it so much. And I think what I love about it is it's fun, it's social, but it also is like sexy. It's like, where do you go to get your pictures of like a sexy Steve Bannon? You go to The Truth. You know, you could just check it out.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. That's
it's like really fun. You know, I think that's
so you did a commercial for The Truth, the new platform?
The launch of the brand new social media and streaming app. And so, you know, I would say stuff like, oh man, I wish I had one of those Steve Bannon pics. Oh, no problem. I'm on The Truth. I got a bunch of them, you know, like that. And then, you know, or you could do like this. They have a cameo part of Truth, which is amazing, where you can get Alex Jones to yell at you. It's $500 for 30 seconds of hardcore screaming. And whatever you want him to do, he'll scream at you for 30 seconds for $500.
Can you give me can you give me more of a taste of the commercial that you shot? Because earlier you were sort of engaging a little with the kissing. You were kind of giving us what
So, all right, so I'd be like this. So I'm like on my phone. I'm like, oh, another fake news day. And I'm gonna do both parts.
Okay.
Another fake news day. Hey, brother, you ever hear about the truth? Truth, what's that? Oh, just a social media app created by our president, Donald Trump. He didn't lose. Oh, no, he won. Exactly. And that's the truth. That's a short commercial. Then the other one was like, uh-oh, got to get home. Just got my Yellio. Your Yellio? Yeah, my Yellio. Alex Jones. He'll yell at you for 30 seconds for only $500. And that's the truth. Or you could do, like, oh my gosh. Truth is, Steve Bannon is sexy AF. And then you would see that picture of him. But like that was like those are some. We did a bunch of commercials, and I had to do other things like this. I
will say the chat is behind it. I'm hesitant with this one, Paul, and I'll be honest with you because I just don't know. I feel like it's politics aside. Look, let's take my politics out of it. Sure. I disagree with everything you're saying politically.
I'm not saying anything politically.
Okay. I disagree with Trump wholeheartedly, is more than anyone could possibly imagine. But
hey, take that out, right, buddy?
Okay, take that out of it. Sure. I'm sure their money is green, but I feel like it's a crowded space. I feel like social media is already because we got saturated.
We got all the good stuff on here. I mean, that's the thing. All right. First of all, you've heard about reboots. They have the new Halloween movie and stuff like this. The truth has this, and I don't even know if I can actually say it. Can I say it? Okay, yeah.
Who do you talk to? Do you have a producer there?
Yeah, it's Tanya. It's just normally Tanya, but she just, so yeah, okay. So I wasn't supposed to announce this, but they are doing a reboot on the truth of a brand new streaming show. It is called Charles in Charge. Scott Baio is back, and it's called Charles in Charge of the Libs. And he is the minority whip. And he is at any step of the way, he is going to shut down the Dems or the Libs plans to get us climate, to help with climate change or education.
This is a real show, or this is just a meme that
this is one of the brand new services on the truth. It's Yellio, it's Sexy Bannon, and it's Charles in Charge of the Libs. And it's not just live action stuff. We also have a brand new animated series with Pepe.
I'm not sure we should put that on the screen, but okay, I'll hear you out.
Well, yeah, it's a funny. It's like what if Pepe was president? And it's like that kind of
and this is this is a TV show, or this is just like
it's an animated look at the president. And like that's what I'm saying. It's like this is like, it's not, everyone thinks, oh, it's just gonna be about like, oh, this is like a voice box for Donald Trump. No, it's got streaming, it's got everything. And we also have like these amazing advertisers. Like, did you know that the dollar store,
it's gotta be my pillow.
No, the dollar store came on. And so the dollar store is out here and they're doing like great deals. So if you're a member of the Truth, you can get 4 tiki torches for $12.
And those are for I'm assuming like KKK rallies. Like, what is that for?
I don't tell you what to do with anything.
Okay. Let me ask you this, Paul, because I'm just not positive that you've thought this all the way through. One of the things that I do appreciate about this show that you and I do is that we kind of are able to keep each other in check a little bit. Earlier I was very excited about the opportunity to take over as Black Panther or as the new Wonder Woman.
Right.
You guys called me out. You called me out. The chat called me out pound for pound. I appreciate that. Here's an idea that I know you're excited about it because you love new things. You love new media. You like to be on the cutting edge of new new concepts and platforms and stuff like that. I just don't know for your brand, if you will, if this is a great look for you and a great association.
I mean, I'll think about it. I'll think about it. Noted, but pound for pound.
Give me a little. I mean, I'm on the fence. Give me a little taste of a little longer commercial. Can you show me what the longer commercial?
All right. The longer commercials are like this, like. Oh my God! And then, oh, sorry, I'll do it again. Oh my God. Hey, bro, what are you laughing at? Not much, dude. Just my favorite new show. I'm totally binging it. Oh, yeah. Squid Game? No. What is it? Charles in Charge of the Libs? Charles in Charge, wasn't that canceled? Yeah, this is the reboot. Bayo is back, and baby, he is better than ever as he plays a younger, sexier Mitch McConnell who's teaching all the libs about how it really goes down in the Beltway. Bayo in the Beltway, unbuckle my belt. I'm about to get sucked off.
Wait a minute. There was something at the very end that kind of stuck out a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm trying to remember what it is. There was there's a lot of
it was
a lot of dialogue. There's a lot of dialogue, and I'm trying to sort it all out.
When I say don't watch a Squid Game.
No, it wasn't that. It wasn't that. It was the thing at the very end. What was it? It was the thing about it. Unbuckle my belt. I'm about to get sucked off.
Yeah. What
was? Why would you say that in a commercial for?
Oh, that's like the internet only commercial.
I don't know, man.
Beltway, I'm about to go balls deep. That was a TV.
I don't know. I mean,
anyway,
there's a lot to unpack. There's a lot to unpack, and we do have a guest.
We have a great guest, as a matter of fact. This is somebody that I've been excited to have on the show. Somebody that I know.
Pound for pound, I am super psyched.
I think it's one of the best guests we've gotten. He's the best. This gentleman as the lead singer of the old 97s. He also has recorded his own music as a solo musician. He has been published as a writer of fiction and nonfiction, but
both.
We're going to talk about it. We'll find out.
And
nonfiction. But I love, he has this brand new podcast, or a podcast that came out a little while ago called Wheels Off. And it really is about like getting into the creative process, talking to creative people, writers, actors, artists, everything. Just about like when how they get inspired, how they work, everything like that. And the one thing that we all share is all three of us have been on 30 Rock. So please welcome Rhett Miller. Hey.
Woo!
Yeah.
What's up, man?
Nothing. I'm so excited to be with you guys. Paul and I have hung out, but Rob, I'm so glad to meet you. I'm a big fan.
Oh, thanks, man. I'm a big fan of yours. That's so nice. And I got to tell you that the intro that Paul did, that's the most intro we've ever had. We normally don't introduce people very well. So that was,
I bring out the big build, make sure that we give you a proper setup. And I appreciate you're coming from, Rhett's no slouch. First of all, he's in New York, so he's on a later time zone than us. So I appreciate you being here for that. But you also have a pretty sweet setup. I did your podcast a couple weeks ago, and I was impressed with what is this room? Is this a special area in your house? Is this like a recording area? What's the room that you have picked here?
So in March of last year, when everything shut down, I started doing live online shows, and I've done 4 a week. So I'm over 270 shows. It's brutal. You guys do a lot too,
we don't do that many.
1 a week. That's it. Yeah, not that many.
But my kids made fun of me for painting my room red and hanging up all my guitars. They're like, "Oh my God, Dad, you're like old. Why do you have to flex on everybody with all your guitars?" But now, who's got the great background?
Yeah, who's laughing now? I'm broadcasting from a shipping container. I'm trying to
look at the port of Los Angeles. He's not been able to get in for months.
I'm stuck on a shipping container in Long Beach, and Paul is being lit and shot by James Cameron. He's in soft focus, and he looks great.
The pandemic allowed a couple of DPs and directors with a lot of time on their hands, so I got them to come into my setup. But 4 shows a week is intense, but I also feel like one of the things I've really loved about this time is these shows where you can get to do things and interact with people in a way that you wouldn't get to do. Like you get to do like a little bit more of a personal show, even though you're not anywhere near the people that you are performing for in a weird way, right?
Well, I'm really lucky because like out of my band Old 97s, I'm the lead singer, right? Nobody else in the band can go and do 4 shows a week, just this guy. But really the kind of even music that I make, it lends itself to, this kind of a presentation. And I've done tons of solo shows in my life. I mean, sitting here night after night is really not that different from like being on stage at the old Largo. It's a very quiet room. Nobody's allowed to talk, or Flanagan's going to kick them out. And I can tell some stories. I can try out new songs. If I screw up and I have to restart, it's a low pressure situation. I'm pretty lucky and also I have 12 albums with the Old 97s and 8 solo albums, and so roughly 14 songs an album. That's like 17,000 songs that I could choose from.
Well, my question about this is because I feel comfortable enough to ask you, because I wouldn't I went to go see Billy Joel one time, right? And Billy Joel has on his piano a giant book, and will flip through and find a song, and because you have to forget them at a certain point, right? Like Dave Grohl, even when I saw Dave Grohl perform, like he was like, we got this many songs, but it's like at a certain point they have to leave your head, right? Like, I mean, how do you remember what you've done, or do you fall back in love with things when you remember them? Like, what's that process like?
Well, so that's true. And on stage in a normal situation, I wouldn't be able to do this. But here, since I'm not really making set lists anymore, I've got the master list of all the Old 97 songs.
Oh my God.
The master list of all my solo songs. And then I have these these folders. This is just the original songs in this folder.
Oh, wow.
And then this is filled with covers that I can choose from. And I've got a little music stand. You're really getting a behind the scenes here.
I love it.
I set up this music stand right here. And so I can cheat. I just glance down,
right?
And then everybody thinks, oh my God, he's so great. But I'm not great.
He's cheating.
Do you find a moment though where you rediscover something? Like, obviously you don't forget it, but where you're like, oh, I haven't played that in like a couple of years, or like, have you ever fallen back in love with a song that you may have like forgotten about, or is that not even possible?
No, constantly. I mean, first of all, I am my own favorite singer-songwriter. I love my music. I could listen to only my music for the rest of my life, but I think that's part of it, right? Like, you want to make music that you like because you're your own first audience, and
right.
And you're gonna have to go out and sing it night after night after night, because I have 2 teenage kids upstairs and they're not eating,
Right.
So but I do. There's so many songs, but every once in a while there'll be, for whatever reason, I'll think, oh, that song reminds me of this bad gig, or this, I don't know, ex-girlfriend, or this fight I had with Murray, or whatever it is. And so I won't play that song. And then somebody will request it, because I have a gamification built into my shows, where if you're the top supporter at the end, you make a request, and whatever. It's just to try and please make a little more money. But they'll request some song that's got a negative, association, and I'll play it, and I'll be like, oh my God, that was the greatest song anyone ever wrote. And I totally forgot about it.
Well, it's so funny because I think about, like, I was talking about this with a friend the other day. It's like Gwen Stefani got famous originally for all these songs about this breakup that she had, right? And like, with her, it was the bass player from No Doubt, and it's like, and you get famous from it, and it's amazing. You become a huge success, but then you have to like sing that song every night, and that person is there, and you have to, like, I always remember, like, I always think like, oh, do you have to like live through this every time, like where you are in those moments of your life too, or is it just become like, I'm performing and that's it?
That philosophical idea that time, the past and the present are just as real as, or the past and the future are just as real as the present, right? There's a timeline and all of it exists, right? So the guy that I was when I wrote the first Old 97s record in 1993 is the same guy now as the same guy that'll be 60 years old and croaking through those 70-year-old songs or whatever. So So yeah, it's weird because those early songs, I was a drunk, I was a mess. I'm now like 6.5 years sober, and so especially the early days of that was weird because I have to go back and relive. I have to climb in a time machine every song, and now now I just might get drunk tonight and burn the nightclub down every song. And people used to, now they know not to, but they would just pile up whiskey shots at the base of my microphone stand, and I would think, oh my God, I used to drink all of those.
Yeah. Has your relationship with like fans changed at all? Like I mean, not just because you've transformed, but I always just wonder about like secretly if bands hate their fans. Not if they hate their fans, but like I know there are some bands there, because like there's some metal bands that I like where I think they're actually, you know, their songs are like crazy and aggressive, but like I know politically that they're like progressive guys, and I feel like their music attracts kind of like bros, like aggro frat bros that don't really get what they're really about. So I always wonder like if musicians what their relationship is like with their fans. Like I'm assuming you don't hate your fans.
No, I don't by any means. But I think that it's something that you have some control over. Like I imagine, what if there's a situation where there's a band, and I don't know, I don't know, these guys might actually be the sweetest guys in the world, but what if there's a band like Slipknot, right? And they just, they're shitty. They seem like assholes, like they're horrible, and their fans seem horrible, right? And so, but what if there's a guy in the band, like the bass player, and he's really sweet. He's like one of us, and he's like reading a book, and he's going out on stage with his makeup and shit on, just going like, "Fuck, I hate this." So, but also he made a choice to be in a shitty band. So, you know, we never had a hit, or we haven't yet. Know what I'm saying? But and part of that was that, like, I think we always really tried to be like sophisticated and, you know, tried to do things that were weird, and we tried to be good or whatever. So maybe our fans, well, we weeded out all the people that were just here for the let's get drunk and fuck
right
shit.
Yeah because I think whenever you last for this long, that's what you do, because you're like it's like you have people who are true fans. They're not just there for the. I remember I'm dating myself with all these old references, but I saw Natalie Imbruglia one time, and fantastic. She was amazing. But she performed her hit song "Torn" 3 times in one show. And on one level I was like, great. But like, you know, because it was like, you kind of want to see it, and there's not enough catalog there at that point. You can't go deeper. You got the album and you got that hit. But like once you've been around for, you know, you've been around since 1993. Rob, I don't know if you know this, but like the first interaction I really had with Rhett, where I found out about him and old 97s, was I was on a Positive prank show, and the girl was obsessed with Rhett, and we like got like we created an element of the day that was around Rhett, and that's like my first interaction with him, is like,
oh wow,
seeing like, but like that was my first job. It wasn't even on camera. It was like off camera. Like, and it was just like, I got into the Writers Guild on that show, but it's like, it's amazing to think about, you know, the staying power of your career, and like, and then all the fans that have grown with you, and that you get new fans, but they're in for the long haul. If they've been with you since 1993, like they're going to go through everything with you. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and we wind up with a lot of multi-generational situations where the parents look at their kids and they'll all show up. And in the pre-pandemic times, there was a lot of meet and greets and grip and grins and merch table hangouts after the show, posing for pictures and stuff. And inevitably there would be like a dad and then like a teenager, or like a dad and his 20-something daughter and her baby. Like, it's... You know what? I remember, did you guys ever read this? There was a quote a long time ago. The King of New Jersey, John Bon Jovi, would brag about when moms and daughters would come backstage, and he'd have 3-ways with moms and daughters. Okay.
What?
Yeah. Yes. So how weird would that be for the mom and the daughter? Like,
yeah.
No, it's so terrible. It's like,
that's insane. Do your kids, you were talking about your kids, do you on some level, do they think you're cool, or are they like, Oh boy, this fucking guy with his, like I don't, my daughter is 5. And so she doesn't really know what I do and it can't watch a lot of the stuff that I do. And, doesn't like Paul Scheer or his comedy. No offense, Paul. I mean, I like you, but
it's very, yeah.
But I think if you're a performer and you have kids, I think they kind of just never really appreciate what it is that you do no matter what, I think.
Well, since they've been able to walk, my kids would walk over if I'm playing the guitar and they'll just put their hands over the strings and just do that. Because I think what it is it's competition for one thing, for their time, for their attention or whatever. And also it's just loud and kids' ears are so sensitive.
Yeah.
But I mean, what if your kids were giant fans of your stuff and they were like, what if they acted weird around you?
That would be great. I would love it. I would love it.
Okay. I got to tell you. So, I was on Nailed It, and my son is in 2nd grade, and I
Nailed It, the cooking show,
the cooking show, and so I was dropping off Gus and one of his school friends. I was dropping off Vanilla Ice, as a matter of fact. I was dropping off Vanilla Ice at school, and one of his friends was like, "Your dad, that's the guy from Nailed It." And I was like, "Oh, hi." And I just was talking to him and being nice. And then I could see my son like, what's this? Like he's seen Nailed It. But I think he was surprised that someone else was interested in it as well. And then he came home from school and he's like, "Dad, I know something about you that you didn't tell me." And I go, "What?" And he goes, "You're in Alvin and the Chipmunks." And that's David Cross. And I guess like his classmates started talking about like they're like, "And he's in Alvin and the Chipmunks." I go, Vanilla Ice, you've seen Alvin and the Chipmunks. That's not me.
That
like,
is
like he was like, "Are you sure?" I go,
pretty
sure.
David Cross would be a great dad to your kids. We should investigate that.
I know, I get him in there. You have this amazing podcast called Wheels Off. You've done about like 60 or almost 70 or maybe 70 episodes. And I love this premise of it because it's just amazing people that you get to talk to about their creative process. And it's a very like, in a world where there's a lot of interview podcasts, what I like about this is it's very specific to creativity and working within, how do we create this stuff? How do you find this stuff when yourself? What are these things that, spark joy for you? And you've had on, everyone from, like people like Will Forte to, Roseanne Cash and Harlan Coben, Jeff Tweedy, like all these really cool people, Paul F. Tompkins. And it's really interesting. Like, what has been for you the thing that like kind of unites all these people? Like, have you found something, or do you get inspired by them? Like, I mean, it's interesting. You are a creative person. You're not like, I think a lot of times you talk to interviewers who are not doing what you're doing. So now you are doing what they're doing on some level. What are you pulling away from it? Like as being this, the interviewer in this scenario?
Well, you guys clearly got the memo as well, that at some point we were all required to do a podcast. And I was like, I don't know, like, I'm not like, I've watched you guys. You're so funny, naturally funny, gifted. The level of improv is, off the charts. What do? I just sing, but I do love the backstage conversation that you wind up having inevitably if you have time and enough, of a quiet space with musicians, comedians. Like I talk about Largo, that's such a great scene because you wind up the cross-pollination of musicians, artists, actors is really great. And you wind up figuring out the overlap is pretty enormous in terms of your creative lives and your processes. And then the things that are different wind up being, really informative as well for me to like learn about other people. For instance, on Wheels Off, I've interviewed Brian Anderson, who's one of the big play-by-play men in the NBA and golf, and he's the Milwaukee Brewers guy as well. But I didn't think that would work because it's about the creative life and the creative process. But you know what? When you're a play-by-play guy, your whole job is to construct a reality. Like you're building a word picture. in August of last year. We've done exactly 4 shows to promote it, but it was still pretty fun. And this is the single off that. They're running a marathon of kids in the hall. Ghost light dancing across the posters on the wall. 2 little pixies and the slider T-Rex. I can tell that we get along well, and I wonder what's next. Turn off the TV, let's go back to my room. I've got a window with a hell of a view, and there's a phone sitting on the church next door, a sleeping bag on a hardwood floor. Turn off the TV, let's go back to my room. Never thought that a girl like you would pay me no mind, but here we are in a hot box having a hell of a time. Jim Beam and brickweed and a futon couch, and a playful smile pulling on the corner of your mouth. Turn off the TV, let's go back to my room. I've got a window with a hell of a view, and there's a phone sitting on the church next door, a sleeping bag on a hardwood floor. Turn off the TV, let's go back to my room. I've got a window with a hell of a view, there's a phone sitting on the church next door, a sleeping bag on a hardwood floor. Turn off the TV, let's go back to my room. Oh yeah!
Oh,
That
man.
was awesome. Oh my gosh.
That's why you have him on the show, Paul. That's why you have him.
I know. But you know what? What was more exciting to have that moment of, wait, we didn't get to see it. Then you got it. It was like an encore. We got it was amazing. That was it. We sent him away and we pulled him back in. Rhett, that was awesome. What a great way to take us out. That was
Oh, thanks so much, you guys.
Thanks,
all right.
Rhett.
Yeah, bye-bye. You see, that was
well, we'll edit
that was
it.
amazing.
We'll edit it together.
We'll edit it
And I mean,
damn, he was great. That was awesome.
that was cool. We should have more music on the show. We got to have my friend Slipknot on. Slipknot is they're dear friends of mine. And when you guys were you guys were making fun of them earlier, and they're dear friends. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6. They go by numbers.
Wow, that's how they. Okay, wow.
There's 11 of them. Yeah, I think.
Jeez, okay.
11.
Well, Rob, I mean, look at that. I mean,
pound for pound, great show. Great show. There was some controversy. Obviously the part where you were abducted and held hostage, that was exciting. We resolved that. And then, the news that I'm suing Marvel unless they provide me with my hit franchise. That's a big news. The fact that you're working for Trump's social media platform. These are all, I'm recapping now the highlights of the show. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's been a great show. We heard a lot about a great social media platform called The Truth, which I'm now advertising for. We did a little bit of a horror chop up, a little mashup. You want to go through real quick? I'll give you a couple more of these just so we get.
And let's plug our costume contest next week.
Yes,
because
next week. Submit in the discord.gg/Paul Scheer. If you can be on live, that's great. If you can't be on live, send us a picture and tell us what you are, so we'll be looking at you, but we'll also, if we need a reference point, we will get a reference point. That's it. Hope you enjoyed the show. We're live every Thursday on Twitch. Just go to twitch.tv/friendzone and stay tuned here and subscribe to my YouTube channel for highlights, full shows, clips, a whole bunch of fun stuff. Just do it. Hit subscribe right now. Come on. What are you waiting for?